So the Louis Vuitton for UNICEF campaign just brought me right back to being in the hospital and playing rock, paper, scissors with another patient. This was a guy that drove trucks cross country, and he's like, I don't know, he asked me to go on a trip with him, and so I was like, no, but we were playing, and I'm sure he was flirting, but I wasn't. I was just playing. I mean, there was nothing to do. Rock, paper, scissors was like what we came up with. And somehow this was what was so unfair. I got moved. They're like, you're not in trouble. I'm like, why am I being moved then? They're like, because we don't want patient interaction to that extent where it's flirting and stuff like that. I'm like, why is it that the girl is punished? I wasn't even flirting. I'm just trying to, kill time here in my own personal hell. It wasn't that bad, but it was definitely the most boring time. I mean, just time. Just if that doesn't make you go insane, I don't know what will. Just time passing the slowest it could possibly pass while life goes on outside is terrible. But made the best of it, right? And I was sort of like a little guru there with my tarot cards and my predictions and teaching people about astrology, and I felt like what's her name and sound of my voice. I cultivated my own little little group of people that believed what I said, but you of course had to be quiet about it, because if you said anything that remotely sounded delusional or something like that, they could hold it against you, basically. But I felt like that girl and sound of my voice. My hair definitely looked like it. I think I wrote about this in a playlist, how all they had there was some off-brand shampoo, no conditioner, no face wash, nothing, just all-purpose shampoo, I guess you'd say. So my hair, I was definitely feeling the lack of products. But again, something that you just kind of got used to and was the norm by the time I left. I'm like, I don't need anything. Very zen lifestyle. But yeah, you couldn't say anything, because even saying this is something that they would hold against you, that you sound paranoid, that they're always listening or something. But it's true, they were. If they overheard you saying something, or even just playing rock, paper, scissors, they took that as a sign, a negative sign. Everything was negative. And the thing was, it wasn't some very, very fancy facility where, I guess you have people going there all the time, and I don't know, I have nothing to compare it to, but because I've never been to a place like that before, and never plan on being back. But yeah, I've never been to a place like that before, and our doctors weren't the best, because they didn't have patient history. She had not talked to my psychiatrist, who I go to for anxiety and stuff like that. She'd never met me before, my doctor. She hadn't even spoken to me before, or heard any story where I try to back up my stories with proof and stuff like that before. She was like, I think you're delusional, and I think you're just going to end up here if we let you go sooner, because I said, it was such a mess getting into the place. did not talk to me, like I said, not talk to a doctor that I've previously seen, not spoken to any of the people that I spoke to when I got there. Like, she was just going off of basically what other people, what I guess she was used to, and so that's why I thought she was a terrible doctor, but that's also why you can rest assured that, like, her assessment of me was based on zero and nothing. And then eventually she let me go, and she's like, I know I'm not your favorite person. That's, I guess she got that much, right? But in any case, that's what that reminded me of, playing rock, paper, scissors. That's all, that whole tangent came from that. And there's something else I was going to talk about. Oh well, I'll make another video if I think of it. But I think that whole experience really just showed me instead how strong I am in my mind, and how even with people telling you some things that are not true about yourself, how much you have to know yourself in order to know that those things aren't true, and how strong you have to be in order to resist their trying to get under your skin, even if that's not necessarily their objective. Like, that's what could easily happen to someone if they weren't very stable in their mind. And I did find that I was a good counselor, because this group of people that I talked to would, you know, have, some people would have freakouts every once in a while, and just, it was interesting. Some people, like, were just so grown up, they had kids and whatever, everything, and then all of a sudden you'd see someone, like, sitting on the floor, like, crying, having a tantrum, saying, like, I want to go home, I just, get me out of this place. And you're just like, and then if you're the only one that they'll talk to, you realize that you are sort of a good counselor, trusted person. It was scary almost to see the fragility of the mind, and how, you know, easily people can slip into some sort of unstable state, and it's 1 second someone will be fine, another second it's like, and so I'm going about this, like, my daily routine, like getting up and showering, and like just trying to make conversation with whomever, you know, during meal time, and talking to the people that were younger than me that were, like, supposed to be supervising. I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. Don't ever let me go to a place like this again, especially for such a dumb reason. But at the same time, like, it reinforced that I'm not crazy, that I don't have those problems that unfortunately other people were experiencing, and that I'm a lot stronger in my mind and know who I am and all these things than I thought previously. Because you did have to stand up for yourself, and, you know, I didn't have anything with me to even show them, like, even if I did have something official, like saying, you officially work for us, blah, 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 which would be amazing, and all I'm, like, wanting in life, at this point, right, at this moment, or have been, even if I had something like that, it's not like I could, you know, I had nothing with me to show them, could barely bring anything in. I guess I could have brought that in if I had something like that, but at the time I had nothing to show them. No, like, just even show them what I'm talking about. Oh, I make playlists. It's just really hard to explain. And sound normal and sound like someone that they're like, oh, you're good to go. So I tried so little to talk about it, but at the same time, people always ask you, like, what do you do? How do you spend your time? And I'm like, I paint and do some stuff online is what I tell people. I mean, it's too hard to explain. I don't know how to word it. And so it's tough because not only do I not get paid for the things that I do and the time I spend, but I can't even really talk about it. So without sounding crazy, without sounding like, so therein lies the like lack of value I feel for my work, because not only can I don't get paid, but I can't even talk about it and feel proud for what I do and how I spend my time. And you don't even think about feeling proud of what you do until you don't have that ability to do so, because you can't even talk about it. Like, imagine if you spent all this time making a movie or something and then like you couldn't even talk about it because people would be like, I don't believe that you were in the movie. I've never heard of it, and therefore I don't believe it. You know what I mean? Like, just if you couldn't even say what you do, makes it really difficult to live, basically, to engage with other people. For me to like I don't even want to talk about it at this point. Like, before I kind of did, I'd like try to explain and be like, see, like, this is so cool how people are like doing mimesis and like incorporating different codes and things like people just don't get it. It's just too hard and to explain unless you've been following it and know, and like I said, therein lies the fact that I feel like I just need to do something that people get in order to like live in this world, which is really sad and depressing for me, because it's like you shouldn't have to like compromise in that sense just so that other people can like understand you. But I've been down this road so long where like you're trying so hard to get people to see what you're doing and believe you, and it's just, and then to be told constantly by people that, oh, I think you're just, I don't see it, and blah blah blah. Like, it's so hard to like keep going, and it's discouraging. And I've had friends that's would be like that. Oh, I don't see it. And you're just like, well, look with your eyes, like use your head. It's not that hard to see the pattern or the overlap or whatever. It's like right there in front of you. It's the same word or something, it's the same this or that, and how can you not see it? Like, you just are saying that, and then I'm the crazy one, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, people, I think, were jealous maybe too, and just, I don't know, but it made it really hard. And I've been down this road where I'm just kind of like, people don't understand what I'm doing, people don't get it, and I've lost friends for it, and probably weren't great friends to begin with if I lost friends over it. But at the same time, like, I'm tired of taking the hard road as well, whereas like you could just be someone's tax collector, and that's a job that people understand and get, and so therefore you have some sort of value in this world or something, and actually I think that that's like the easy route, and that's like not at all something that I should be doing. But I don't know, I just think about this all the time and trying to follow, but what I feel is, I don't know, I used to say important, follow what I feel is important to do, but at this point I'm just like, is this actually going somewhere, and is this worth my time? And the reactions I get from people will have only been negative in life, besides like my family, who doesn't get it, but they're like, sure, okay. They kind of are starting to, but they don't follow it, so it's just like what I have to tell them. Anyways, I just think that it's like, ultimatum points coming to that, where it's like I either have something official and I can actually do this in a way that I can sustain myself, or not. And if that's the case, like I'm too addicted to it that like it takes up my time, and I don't spend enough time on other things that I probably should be doing that would potentially make money, and all these things that, you know, are needed to like live in this world. And it's just so okay, you know, like I don't know, I see so many people doing so much less and just like, or are similar to me, that have jobs and are paid for their similar things. And I'm just like, I don't know, I don't know who's watching this, and so should I even apply to those people? Like, it's all just very complicated, and I don't want to burden you with it, but just to explain where I'm coming from and why, if anything, I stopped doing like spirit readings and stuff like that. I'm gonna probably take a break this week, maybe only do a few or none at all. A few would be a compromise, but I might need a break and not do any at all, because and we'll see. But you know, I just don't know where to put my time, so best use of my time at this point, I guess I'm trying to figure out. So yeah, if I go anywhere, you know, that's why. But I just wanted to reassure people that I'm not unhinged, that I don't, you know, feel like the world owes me or anything like that. I just think that I have done work and I've proven myself to the point where I could be paid, and that would be great. And need to be. And you know, they promised, the Biden administration promised that people would have the resources that they need to do the work that they need, that helps the government. And so far, I mean, that to me would be a salary job, like resources, salary job, like being in contact with the people that utilize this and utilize me. And even if it's once a month and it's because it warns against something terrible coming, that in itself is worth using someone every day for nothing, as just, you know, like say nothing happens. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's worth it to have someone on salary working for the government that does what I do, because it's every day and it's worldwide, and it's something that can protect people. And especially if I'm doing it, you know, to my fullest ability, and that means being in contact with people beyond this, like, so that I know what I'm exactly doing, and exactly how I'm helping. And that would be great. And that would be supplying resources to people that need them in order to help and continue to help. Even the Pope is like taken care of, you know what I mean? Like, you can't expect people to like do things for free forever and not have some sort of stability. You know, it's just not fair. It doesn't work like that. So I just really hope that promises are kept, and that, you know, I've proven myself over 4 years. That's more than most people would do, and have saved lives and have protected people and gone above and beyond and incorporated this on many levels to appeal to as many people as possible, to reach as many people as possible, as far as like demographics go too, like, so it applies and is entertaining for people, like developed a visual language. I mean, it's so multi-level and multilateral and complex, and great, you know, and the ways that people have gotten involved is great. And it's just something that should be continued, because it'd be unfortunate if it didn't. But like, I just don't know how I can. So it's just something that I'm thinking a lot about, and hope that people come through in some way, shape, or form for me, because I really need it. And yeah, and I think that's it. I hope you're having a great Saturday. Bye.